All right, race fans, welcome back to another exciting day of racing excitement here at the world's premier automotive country club, Monticello Motor Club. I'm joined by my trusty co-host, Paul Quealy. Very Irish, very handsome, up here in the box. Not racing right now. Wanted to grace us.
I had a little boo-boo in practice. I got on the curbing in turn 3. Made a mistake, and my splitter is split, as they like to say. But that doesn't matter, Derek. We are at the world-famous Monticello Motor Club. In a beautiful fall day, they're playing college football. But here at Monticello, we're racing. And what a race we have today. Andre Fernandez, the Portuguese Green Bandit, is leading the place. He's in first at pole. Right next to him, JF Pepe Le Pew. And then Mark Davies in his Ferrari. And then Simon Reed, new to the club but not new to racing. He's going to be someone you need to look at today.
You know, that's a great point, PQ. And Simon Reed will be carrying one of the brand new Monticello Motor Club in-car cameras. So we're going to be able to track the action from inside Simon's car as he follows Mark Davies out of Palm Beach, Florida, the Mark Davies machine, the Ferrari Challenge car. So Simon Reed outside second row. Third row is Adam Klein, being coached ably by Nick Leone. And then you've got Reggie Tartaglione on the outside of row 3 in that mighty Porsche Cup car, followed up by Alan Teo and Nick Steinman, who's also carrying a Monticello in-car camera today. The field is looking good, and there, as we speak, there's Simon Reed's in-car looking right at Mark Davies. I tell you, this is going to be he's looking right at Mark Davies and JF. JF sipping a fine Bordeaux. He uses red wine as ballast in there to keep the BOP consistent. I tell you, we've got Rudy Pistoli in position 9 outside of Jonathan Wilson in that Aston Martin. So we've got an exciting top 10. We've got 26 cars on track. It's going to be a great day of memory racing.
And you know, down a little bit in midfield, I look for a great race between Eric Patenaude and Alex Blaker. They and Ivan Brightly, they battled to and fro last night in the ND2 race. Alex Blaker had his coming out party, was able to hold off Eric, but today is a new day. It's not for the ND Challenge, but it's a new day. We are lining up, ready to go as they move down to where Morgan, our trusty flag waver, will give him the green flag. I don't like the setup here. I'd like to see JF. JF's a little in front. He's going to have to back off. Andre Fernandez is going to have to move up a little bit. They're getting ready. Morgan is getting ready for the drop of the flag. And we are off, race fans.
Green flag on the field now as Fernandez and Formella go into Montreal. Morgan working that flag. Wow. I'm not even sure that is Morgan. That might be an alternate flagger. Look at these guys getting through Montreal. Everybody clean. There's Blaker, the R4 cars like you're talking about. Blaker pushing Les Schrim right there in that Porsche. Blaker already looking racy back there in the R4 cars. As Fernandez leads them up into the carousel, JF right in his chimney, wanting to keep pressure on that big green machine early.
Yeah, this is, right now we're in the settle down phase. We've gone through Montreal, incident-free. I think Andre Fernandez is going to be very, very hard to beat today. As good of a racer as JF is in his car, Andre Fernandez has a little something special in that Green Bandit. But let's not overlook Mark Davies, the Palm Beach Mark Davies, as well as Adam Klein, and my favorite, Reggie T. David Ferreira put the brakes on.
Jay Davis just makes the pass. Jay Davis with the heads-up move there to go wide into the grass. David Pereira in that M4 GT4 loops it onto the main straight, goes off, and everybody passes him clean, including Jay Davis day. Goes around him on the left in the grass, very heads-up driving there by the brother of our HR department, Donna Cruz. I mean, that's probably where he gets it from. Donna probably taught him everything he knows about driving. Here comes the world's angriest M2, Rudy Pistoli, right there behind the Adam Klein car already. Klein off the pace.
Rudy's wife, the beautiful, lovely Lucy, and I got to meet Rudy's mother. Unbelievably nice lady from Albania. I asked her, did she win Miss Albania in 2002? And she says, no, she was a participant in 1999.
Meanwhile, back on track, we've got this big orange McLaren doing work out there right now. You've got a lot of action here. We've got some passing early on. There's Jonathan Wilson in the Aston Martin, and he is tracking Alan Teo as they head down under the bridge, completing lap number 1. Fernandez setting sail out front, being trailed by JF, but as you succinctly pointed out, PQ, the big green machine, as also Jillian pointed out last week, those Ferrari Challenge cars, pretty fast.
They really do have but you know what? Right now, midfield, we still have some really good battles. Eric Patenaude, Alex Blaker, Ivan Brightly. And let's not forget Mike Leo and Paul Levine. Two good friends. Neither wants to see the other one win.
Yeah, that's exactly how friendly they are. Paul Levine in position number 26, looking to give Mike Leo the business back there. As Fernandez turns onto the main straight, JF trying to track him down. Simon Reed, we still got Simon Reed in third, followed by Mark Davies. I tell you what, this race is underway. We got 21 minutes to go. Reggie T moving up through the field a little bit as well, man. That big Porsche Cup car. Reggie T just, man, I tell you, that guy is fit, right?
You know what? He is my idol. I do not know what he's doing, but I need some of it.
I need even more of it, I think. Reggie T threw the switchback up and over the top. He just got picked off, I think, by one of maybe a Klein car. We got to get a close up there as they get down to hairpin. I tell you what, we look at our on-screen graphics provided by the Monticello media team, live timing and scoring on the screen, as well as car placement in the field. You can see in the lower left-hand corner, Fernandez still out front. It is a drag race heading up the North Straight. We've got racing action all over the track right now. Cutting to the in-car here, you see Simon Reed turning into the old turn 2 in the S's. He'll be making that left-hander onto the straightaway here and heading under the bridge. Simon Reed, one of the bright spots, just new to the club, as you said, but an excellent racer, looking really good.
He's my favorite member. He's enthusiastic. He wants to participate, and he's rich. Perfect member.
There's Manny T tracking Mark Davies out of Palm Beach, Florida. And now coming down the hill, you got Nick Steinman, and there comes one of the McLarens as well as one of the Kleins there. Jordan Klein, I believe. Fernandez through patience, leading the field. Fernandez not exactly pulling away from JF.
No, not at all. JF is just looking at his time.
220. That's a 220 for JF and a 219 for Andre.
But a high 219.
That's right.
This is a race.
Yeah. JF brought his A game. JF being coached up by Jason Raid, and I think that's really paying off for JF early on.
And being supported by the MMC support team. And all the maintenance by the MMC Race Shop, run by Frankie Cash
Ortiz out there in the service center. So let's check in on the action as they head down the main straight here. The field getting a little spread out. Faster cars starting to stretch their legs.
Mark Davies, he just went from a 224 in his last lap. He just did a 222. That's really good racing. He hasn't been in that Ferrari too long. Very, very pleased at what he's doing. He could be a spoiler for Simon.
Absolutely. Heat coming into the tires. That Mark Davies starting to really pick up the pace. As you watch Rudy Pistoli tracking Jonathan Wilson in that Aston Martin, followed by one of the Klein cars there. All three of them. You could throw a blanket over those guys right now. Let's see if Jonathan Wilson's got the stuff to hold off the world's angriest M2.
You know, speaking of blankets, there's some beautiful MMC blankets for sale in the pro shop. Nothing better than a sofa throw while you're watching some of the football games late this year, maybe the early F1 Center. Snuggle up with an MMC blanket.
I tell you what, fall colors coming out, crispness in the air. What you need is a Monticello blanket. Check out Maria in the pro shop to get your blanket today.
Actually, let's have 20% off on all blankets for the rest of this race. 20% off on blankets.
And coming down the hill now, you see here comes Nick Steinman, followed by Alan Teo. Alan Teo looks inside to give him the nose, trying to get around him. The old Quealy over-under in Montreal.
Oh, we got a
patented
pass
move.
right here, Coach.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Maybe a pass. He's going to get the door closed on him right there. Jay Davis looking for a pass on the inside, but he can't quite pull it off.
You know, Jay Davis, not one that we think that makes those type of moves, but he's obviously great, gaining a lot of confidence. He's worked on his craft. He's got a good car. And I think he's showing it right now. Let's go back in the midfield. How are we doing with the Paul Levine, Mike Leo duo?
Mike Leo has really taken. Mike Leo's up to 18. Paul Levine's still running 20.
Come on, Paul, let's get going. We don't want Mike Leo to get the Apex Award today. Actually, Mike Leo would deserve it. He had a tough day yesterday, but he's bouncing back. And if nothing, Mike Leo is resilient.
And Mike Leo in that ND2 has a little bit more car than Paul Levine in his humble NB Class R7. But I'll tell you, Paul Levine's going to get every ounce of performance out of that car. Paul Levine been putting in the work and getting better every race this season.
Mark Davies just shaved off, had just at his best time at 2:21. He is gaining as we move into the, I'd say, the settle down portion of the race. We've got 18 minutes left. Right now, we still have Andre Fernandez, the green giant, out in front, followed closely by Pepe Le Pew, Simon Reed, Mark Davies, and one of my all-time favorites, Reggie T.
So, Mark Davies, as you pointed out, lapping about a second faster than Simon Reed and only a second and a half back. So, as you pointed out, Paul, ooh, look at that. Ooh, boy. Jay Davis looking racy today.
I don't know what has
He had some
into
extra
Jay Davis.
cappuccino out of that Jay Davis. It might be a Jay Davis day.
You know, isn't every day a Jay Davis day? There we go. Oh, we got a late pass. That is Alan Teo's. Oh, Adam Klein. But he's still Nick Simon. But these two top guys, we've got the top four running in the 220 to 221 range. They're going to be difficult. I think the midfield, I like the battle between Reggie T and Alan Teo. I don't know which one of those is my favorite member.
Yeah, I know. It'd take a little bit of an Excel spreadsheet to figure that out maybe. But I'll tell you this. Jonathan Wilson and that beautiful Aston Martin from Serenity Lane is about to have a problem with Rudy Pistoli. I tell you, Pistoli closing in on that Jonathan Wilson Aston Martin. We're going to have some action here as they head up to Carousel pretty soon.
So we have a new, three new in-car teaching video systems that we've bought, and I explained one to Reggie T, and I said, Reggie T, let me tell you how much it costs. You know why he's my favorite member? He says, I don't care what it costs.
Bill me for it. I tell you what, Reggie T, really, the spirit of Monticello just flows through Reggie T. There's no doubt about it. He was the winner, the year before last, and then was dethroned by Melissa Barthelms this past year. But Reggie T really on the comeback trail to try to retake that Spirit of Monticello award.
Saw Owen and Melissa last night. They are really a racing family. I'll tell you what, if Owen's not careful, Melissa's going to be kicking his ass on the race course.
She definitely has the right attitude. And
Owen might really want to buy one of those blankets so he can crawl up, put that blanket over his head and cry because his wife beat him. And speaking of blankets, I think Mike Watkins might want to buy one because his big date's coming next week.
Mike Watkins is going to need a gift for his girlfriend when she gets here next week. He might consider a 20% off blanket in the Monticello Pro Shop right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw Mikey early in the morning. I went by his house. He was up ironing the T-shirts.
What was the shirt? What's the shirt of the day?
He is going with the Corvette T-shirt. It's his old favorite.
Mike Watkins does like some LS power. There's no doubt about it. Rudy about to be in trouble here. Rudy getting pressure, not able to attack Wilson because he's worried about this Klein car behind him.
I don't know much about the Albanians, but it looks like Rudy's mother rules the roost. I'm not so sure he wants to come back to her and say, "Mom, I was passed."
I can tell you from firsthand experience, Miss Pistoli does rule the entire operation.
Speaking about great Albanians, we have a great Albanian that owns the restaurant right at the end of Cantrell Road, Salaya, which is really wonderful. They're great to our members, and a shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have it on good authority. Mentor, the bartender, makes a great Cosmopolitan over there.
Mentor has been fantastic.
Yeah, great guy.
I actually had the pasta with a little garlic and oil linguine with some wonderful shrimps the other night. I ate by myself. It was a beautiful, and tomatoes, fresh from the garden.
Right out of the right out of the garden in the front.
Farm to track tomatoes. But let's get back to the race. Andre Fernandez continuing to do 220, JF 221. He's having a little trouble. Mark Davies really pushing Simon. Reggie T on top of Alan Teo, but Alan Teo has got a second. He just did the last lap, 1 second difference from him. I know who's on his mic is Mike Watkins, and he's telling Mike. He said, "Alan, you got a second on Reggie. Let's push it."
I can tell you, as predicted, Mark Davies is all over Simon Reed right now. We're going to probably be watching that in-car camera for a Mark Davies pass here any minute now.
Two Englishmen.
Oh, yeah.
Two Englishmen, though. A little known fact is Mark Davies grew up in Italy. Italian's his first language.
Wow.
He thinks in Italian, and he says he's an Englishman or an Italian trapped in an Englishman's body.
Here they are coming down the South Straight, passing Paul Levine. Now that's Simon Reed working a little traffic there. That's probably a good move out of Simon. Maybe get a little traffic management and get a gap to between himself and Mark Davies as he goes through the Lofts corner. There comes your boy Reggie T coming down the South Straight, turning that mighty Porsche from Manti Racing into the Montreal corner, followed by Alan Teo and Jordan Klein. Actually, I think that's Adam Klein. Car 7. Adam Klein.
Rudy is doing well. He's at 10th. Back in the, how's the Eric Patenaude, Alex Blaker, Ivan Brightly run coming?
So you got Paterno in 16th, still holding just ahead of Alex Blaker. And Ivan Brightly is behind. So Mike Leo has moved up in R4. So currently, R4 is being ruled by Eric Paterno in first class. Alex Blaker second in class for R4. Third in class, Mike Leo. And they're being split by Jay Davis, an R3 car running in 18th place.
Woo. Jay Davis having the day of days. It's always great when it comes together once a year for Jay.
So David Pereira, yesterday was David Pereira's birthday. He had that little off there in lap number 1, but he's gathered it back up and is now starting to apply pressure and move up through the field in that mighty M4 GT4. Dave Pereira running in 13th, right behind Les Schrimm.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it, but I think he was clenching his teeth. He's a dentist. I wonder how the blanket sales are going.
I don't know. Let's check in with Maria. We need a roving cameraman to check out what's happening inside the pro shop. I think the crowd's probably on its feet in there, just decimating the pro shop inventory right now. Here we go with Alan Teo and Adam Klein, and there comes Nick Steinman through the hairpin as we've got 8 minutes left in this race. You know, Paul, time flies when you're having fun, man. It's the fastest 25 minutes in motorsports. These guys come out here and look, as you see John Marcado coming down the South Straight. Followed by
lift man, John Marcado.
Simon Reed still trying to work traffic to keep Mark Davies behind him. Simon Reed's racecraft is very, very good right now.
Simon Reed just broke into the 221s. That's going to spell trouble for Mark Davies.
Yeah. His purple lap a little bit better than Mark Davies right now.
And look at Reggie T. Just did a 225.5. Alan Teo 225.4. Maybe Alan will not pass him. Look at Reggie. I love Reggie. He digs deep. He's a real, you know what he is? He's a warrior. Reggie T, the warrior.
And don't look now, but Rudy P has gotten around that Aston Martin and has left the Aston. He has set sail on the Aston as Jordan Klein starts to apply pressure to Jonathan Wilson's rear bumper. Rear bumper, which, by the way, Jonathan Wilson showed me this morning, a really nice redesign by Jonathan on that rear bumper. He looked at what Aston Martin did and said, you know what, I can do better. I'm going to push that tail light in and make it a little less aerodynamic. I think he added some venting there in the back.
Nothing wrong with that. So we're 7 minutes left. Conditions are good. Track temperature is perfect. Sunny, trees. There is... Right now, Andre Fernandez, he smells it. He smells victory lane.
He's got a 6-second. Fernandez with a 6-second lead on JF right now. It is almost all over except for the Bordeaux, my friend. All over but for the Bordeaux.
But JF has run a really good race. As a matter of fact, his last time was fast. His last lap was faster than Andre. But Andre's got all that clean air.
So looking at R1 right now, you've got Andre Fernandez at the top of R1. Mark Davies out of Palm Beach, Florida, running second in class, followed by Reggie T, third in class right now. They're being split by a couple of R2 cars, JF and Simon Reed. And as we wind down the closing moments, only about 2 or 3 laps left in this race, you see Jordan Klein on the straightaway trying to catch that really quick Aston Martin with the twisted livery on it out of Jonathan Wilson's stable. And Rudy's already through the switchback.
Yeah, this race is really going as planned. I thought Mark Davies would push Simon Reed. He has. I thought he would actually sneak in for third. Not surprised at the nice race that Mike Leo's running. Not surprised that Eric Patenaude is... he just does not make any mistakes. I think racer of the day so far has to be Jay Davis.
Jay Davis has been uncharacteristically aggressive today, so kudos to Jay Davis. Looking back in the field, you've got guys back there like Dave Pereira in 12th place. You got Dan Feldstein, Crestron Dan running in 14th. Fantastic car there. You've got Paterno up to 16th, leading the R4 cars. Blaker still in 18th, followed by Mike Leo and then Ivan Brightly. Going back a little bit more, you've got John Marcado duking it out with Jack Wilson. Those guys are both running in class R5. And Marcado, you know, Jack Wilson campaigning one of those twisted Miatas, just like his dad. And Jack Wilson really has had a great season on the racetrack.
Has done very well. Went through all our camps. They have built a beautiful home. They're here for the long term, which is wonderful. Another great member on Serenity Lane.
Jay Davis about to have a mirror full of the big green machine. Andre Fernandez starting to pick off back markers. And when you're Andre Fernandez, let's face it, everybody's a back marker.
And this is great for him because as soon as he gets through those people, JF's going to have to fight through those folks. As long as Andre doesn't make a mistake, and he's way too talented to make a mistake. He's got a supercar. He will be taking home P1.
Yeah, and Jonathan Wilson.
Up.
Oh, Simon Reed.
That's Simon Reed.
And there,
save.
Mike Leo gets around Simon Reed. Simon Reed late on the brakes in old turn 1 and pays the price for it.
He'll chase Mike Leo down, but that was an uncharacteristic mistake for Simon.
Mark Davies able to scoot through there. I think Mark Davies probably made the pass and we didn't even see it on camera. So while Simon Reed's going off, I am sure that Mark Davies got by him.
I don't think so.
He did not get by
We'll see
him.
it. No, he was.
How is
he
that
got
even
caught in the
possible?
traffic as well.
Yeah. Wow. So Simon Reed's traffic management enabled a gap big enough to let him go off and still maintain third overall.
Something Mark Davies is getting caught. He just lost 4 seconds in his race per lap, and that's why Simon, even with that mistake, is staying on.
Hey, good on him. That Englishman looking pretty quick in third place overall, running second in Class R2.
Jonathan Wilson getting up to 10th.
Started 10th.
He started 10th. You know, we consider him consistent.
He's being coached up by Jason Lair today. And let me tell you, if you want to get coached by Jason Lair, stop by and see Jillian and Dustin at the concierge desk. They can set you up with some private coaching from the best driving instructors in America. Two laps to go. We'll be catching the white flag next time by. Look at the Klein car working over Alan Teo's bumper. Man.
Alan Teo is going to have trouble holding him off.
I tell you what, Adam Klein looking pretty racy. One of the, another relatively new member, relatively young racer, but Adam Klein looking really good out there today. Simon Reed right back at it.
I'll tell you one thing you don't want to. Oh, here we go on Jay Davis. Simon Reed gets by him, says to Jay, and not today.
The old over-under.
The old over-under. Of course, Jay's in a much slower car. But it was still good racing by Jay. He let him pass. No funny business here at the MMC.
As Simon Reed approaches the rear of that Eric Paterno car who's leading Class R4, you see Simon Reed, just the great camera work here by the Monticello media team, as Simon Reed closes in on the blue and white ND2 of your Class R4 leader, Eric Paterno. Big early exit there for Paterno, and watch Simon Reed just track him down and pick him off with that superior Stuttgart power in that Porsche Club Sport.
Absolutely. So we have just about 1 lap to go. We're going to get the last lap sign from Morgan. And oh, look at all the crowd up on the gallery. Looking, what a beautiful day. They probably won't leave after the race. It's so nice up there.
I tell you what, there you can see the Pistolis, you can see Leon, you can see everybody out there on the balcony. Cue the Pistoli shot there in the hairpin. And here comes Jonathan Wilson and Jordan Klein. And there's Adam Klein still tracking Alan Teo. Alan Teo holding him at bay, though. In 5th place overall. Adam Klein running in 6th place overall as Morgan gives them the 1 to go.
1 lap to go. We are live at Monticello. Andre Fernandez, the Green Comet, Portugal's finest, will run him down. He will go to first. JF, nice place for Pepe Le Pew. Wonderful racer, serious about his craft. Simon Reed, gonna look like it's a 3rd for Simon Reed. Mark Davies looks like a 4th for him. Alan Teo and Adam Klein, still a toss-up.
Yeah, still a toss-up. Nick Steinman looking good in 7th, followed by Reggie T. and Rudy P. As Simon Reed gets through the switchback, he'll be looking. Here you go. You've got Andre Fernandez running up the north course. We're going to be checkered flag here in mere seconds. JF, you know, it's been a respectable race out of JF. You know, he's really turned a lot of consistent laps. JF doing great. I think the massage yesterday from Denise really helped speed him up.
JF's a wonderful racer. And he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't have the car Andre has. But my guess is soon he will have a car like Andre. He doesn't like to finish second.
Here comes the big green machine, drone being piloted by Chris Szczypala, watching that checkered flag, watching the finish line as Andre Fernandez.
Well done, Andre.
Portugal's finest crosses the finish line first. Beautiful Andre Fernandez, followed by JF in 2nd place. And here comes Simon Reed down the hill.
Do you think we'll see Yonel racing out to give Andre Fernandez a cold towel and some water?
I think a cold towel, some water, and also a big, big hug.
Oh, because Andre Fernandez, the most beautiful man.
Oh, and listen, there's no doubt about it. Yonel loves him some Andre Fernandez.
All right, so folks, that is somewhat of a wrap at Monticello Motor Club as we look back. Beautiful American flag. We had a wonderful national anthem today, maybe one of our best ever. It doesn't get any better than this. Fall in the Catskills at the Monticello Motor Club. I'm signing out from Paul Quealy
and Derek Leonard. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with race 2 in about 40 minutes. Stay tuned, race fans. 6 cars strong, multi-class racing at its finest. The field is out on its formation lap right now. This is race 2 of our Member Challenge series. Welcome to Monticello Motor Club's coverage of the Member Challenge race series. Brought to you by the Monticello media team, Dom and Ray and Chris Szczypala, everybody working hard to bring amazing views of the Catskills and this divine facility. As the pace car rounds Prudence, turn 4, headed up to the carousel, the field will be forming up and will be green flag conditions here momentarily. We've got Andre Fernandez still on the front row in the big green machine, the Ferrari Challenge car. Outside front row will be, again, JF Wee, a fine Bordeaux in that Porsche on the outside front row. Second row, Simon Reed on the inside, and the outside is going to be pinned down by Reggie Tartaglione in the Mighty Cup car. Right behind him, Adam Klein and Alan Teo. Then followed up by Dave Pereira, Nick Steinman. In 10th position, Rudy Pistoli. And outside row there will be Jordan Klein. Jonathan Wilson's going to be carrying an in-car camera in that Aston Martin. And it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see what happens with that Jonathan Wilson camera in the Aston. The other camera car will be Simon Reed up in 3rd place. So we've got some amazing racing action, and as you can see on the screen, we have a fresh co-host in the booth, the amazing, a racer here, a sim racer, a real-life racer, and real-life son of Reggie Tartaglione, Manny Tartaglione. Manny, welcome to the announcing booth.
Thanks, Derek. I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Oh, look at this live camera.
Love it.
This is me holding the mic for Manny. Manny is, you can tell Manny is super excited. And we're going to listen to his scintillating, insightful comments about this Member Challenge race. Having raced in this series, raced in Indy 2, Manny's going to bring some really useful member insights into what's happening with these racers throughout the race. Teams are going through the switchback now, headed around to Kryptos, and will be green flag conditions in just a minute. As you can see on the screen, Eric Paterno still in the points lead, but he is not in this race. So there's a chance for people like Blaker and Pistoli to move up in the rankings, as Paterno will not be scoring any points in this second race today. Chris Peterson driving the pace car through hairpin now. You can see the big green machine there. On the pole right behind him, Simon Reed, and there's Reggie, Adam Klein, Alan Teo, Dave Pereira, Nick Steinman, Rudy, and Jordan. There's Jonathan and Jay Davis, Dan Feldstein, and Mario Verna. All these racers getting stacked up, a little accordion action there at hairpin. Manny, when you were racing in these Member Challenge races, what are you doing right now? What are your thought process? What are you trying to get accomplished on this formation line?
Most important thing is just to stay focused. You want to make sure that you have everything in order, because once you go green, there's not a lot looking back. You got to just keep your eyes up and try to have some fun out there.
Yeah, fun is what it's all about here at Monticello. I tell you, it's gentleman racing at its finest. Everybody's here to have fun, and then we go have a great lunch together in the clubhouse. It's good racing and good sportsmanship and friendship here at Monticello. Lights are out on the pace cars. Chris leading them around the final corner, turning left on to the South Straight. They'll be forming up 2 by 2 here as Andre pilots the Ferrari down right behind the pace car. JF getting up on his door, getting ready to go green. Morgan's got the green flag in his hand as the field turns toward the bridge. Great shots being provided by this drone today. Super shout out to the Monticello media team for making these races so much more exciting to watch and broadcasting worldwide right here from the world's premier automotive country club. Morgan, green flag in his hand. Andre JF on the front row. And green flag. Rudy dives out. Pereira cuts him off. Klein goes to the outside as everybody heads down to turn number 1, the Montreal corner. And Jonathan Wilson with a great start gets around Rudy as Rudy has to take evasive action to get off of Pereira and move to the outside as Andre Fernandez leads them into turn 3. JF looking pretty racy early on. He was very reliable and repeatable laps and kept decent contact. Let's see if JF and Simon Reed have anything for the green machine in this race. What do you think, Manny?
I know JF is flying out there during qualifying. He's been really driving that car very well this season. I know staying in Andre's mirror is definitely frustrating him in the front. So it's going to be fun to watch, see if he can keep that gap tight as the race goes on.
Also, producer's note here, Mark Davies out of Palm Beach, Florida, was in the big Ferrari last race. He has switched to his Indy 2 and is now at the back of the field. So a fresh car for Mark Davies. We'll see what he can do. Making the change from a Ferrari Challenge car to an Indy 2 from one race to the next, that takes a lot of bandwidth. As you watch these cars go down the backstretch there, Rudy is door-to-door with Jordan Klein trying to get the drop on Jonathan Wilson in the braking zone. And Andre still out front leading the group through. There's Jonathan Wilson with that camera inside that Aston Martin Vantage GT4. Jonathan Wilson doing a great job so far. He had a great start on lap number 1. Let's see if he can hold off the world's angriest M2.
Definitely enjoying my time at the club today. It's been a couple months since I've been back on a hiatus, but super happy to be back.
I tell you what, it is a pleasure to have you here at the club, man. You and the dog and the kid and everybody up here, the mighty M5 wagon. I tell you what, it's good to have Manny and Reggie around the club all the time. Well, they're doing work over the karting track right now. They got K-Rail in the smiley face formation. Rudy running down, trying to catch that Vantage GT4 of Jonathan Wilson. Closing the gap as he heads down into Montreal. Rudy shows him the no and covers him off into turn 1. Rudy picking up a position on Jonathan Wilson in turn 1. And there's Jay Davis and Crestron Dan turning through turn 1 as well. And look at JF. JF not wanting to get loose contact with Andre Fernandez. JF bringing the fight. What do you think JF's thinking now? You know, he was 8 seconds off the pace in the first race. So far in this race, he is doing a lot better. What kind of adjustments or what do you think JF's doing differently now?
Well, I think the biggest thing that's changed is the temperature's gone up. So now the cars are really going to start to open up. I think JF, as a seasoned racer, is going to know exactly how to handle this type of situation. He's going to be patient. He's going to watch his marks, and he's going to be ready to attack when the time's right.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Ferrari here stretching his legs. Really big speed advantage on that main straight. That's where the Ferrari really shines. And now JF will use his brakes and his good handling to try to close the gap on him. As you see Simon Reed with the in-car there tracking all the action from inside the car as we watch this battle between JF and Andre unfold. Leaves in the background. I tell you what, Manny, where else would you rather be than in the Catskills in the fall, man? It's fantastic up here. And now we're turning to the main straight as Andre is back on the gas. JF is being coached today by Jason Rabe out of the Monticello Professional Instructor Corps. And I think, no doubt, Jason Rabe is also, as well as temperatures, I think Jason Rabe is the difference for JF today. Let's hope that JF's got something for Andre late in this race.
Yeah, working with Jason myself, I can tell you, he knows what he's talking about. We really enjoyed this season with him out in the Porsche Sprint Challenge, and we definitely think that he's given JF a lot of good pointers out there. Not that he needs them, but it always helps.
And now you see you got Adam Klein working the rear bumper of that orange McLaren Alan Teo. Alan Teo having to work to keep Adam Klein at bay behind him, and Nick Steinman's closing the gap up there as well, as there comes Manny's dad, also known as Reggie, coming down the South Straight, turning into Montreal. And here comes Alan and Adam and Dave Pereira and Nick Steinman followed by Rudy and Jonathan Wilson. And there's Les Schremm there in 11th place. Jonathan Wilson with the in-car, looking at the tail of the Pistoli M2. Jonathan's going to do everything he can. Jonathan being coached up by Jason Lair today. Jason Lair, one of our top-tier coaches. If you want to book Jason Rabe or Jason Lair, you can book either Jason. Just check in with Jillian and Dustin. Look at the action here. Dave Pereira getting his nose inside. Adam Klein struggling in the carousel as Pereira closes the gap on Teo. Pereira struggled a little bit in that first race, having the big off on lap number 1. But Pereira looking extraordinarily racy right now in the F82 M4 GT4. Let's see if Alan Teo's got something for Pereira on this straightaway. Those cars are awfully close together. What do you think, Manny? You think Pereira's got something for him, the BMW versus the McLaren?
Well, I would say so. I think after the first race, after his first lap turnaround, I think he's looking to make a mark on this race. I would say that whenever you get a little bit of draft on that back straight, it always gives you the boost you need. Hit switch back correct and take it into cryptos.
Yeah, you know, yesterday was Dave Pereira's birthday, so I think he is. I think you're right. Kid's trying to make a mark on his birthday. Let's see what happens. There comes Manny's dad, and here comes Alan Teo, followed by Pereira, Adam, Nick, Rudy, and Jonathan right there. A bunch of members really close together. Alan Teo playing cork in the bottle right now. I tell you, Teo's got a mirror full of race cars right now. Anything can happen. That McLaren's fast on the straightaway, though. Look at these camera angles. The drone is doing work today. Chris Szczypala and the media team just bringing you fantastic coverage throughout the race. We've got about 17 minutes to go, and Pereira still just harassing Alan Teo right now. And he's got his nose inside, and Pereira gets a run. Ooh, boy. That is spicy right there.
Keeping those elbows out. That's for sure. But Alan's used to being calm, cool, and collected in these types of situations. I'm sure he's going to be able to handle the pressure just fine.
Yeah, Alan Teo is a poised racer, having raced all over the country in these McLarens with his daughter Kaya, who we're missing here at the club today. But Alan Teo not going to be shook by Pereira. But Pereira is absolutely doing his best to harass him. And there's 4 cars right there, 3 cars right up in Alan's mirrors. Alan, being a pro, though, not looking in those mirrors, rather driving his line, as Pereira takes an interesting outside rim shot, going the long way around, what we call the Mike Leo line. Let's see if Pereira's got something for him, because he's got the inside line now. Pereira, what is happening there? That is not good. Dave Pereira puts his nose inside of Teo. Teo tries to close down, and the room is not there. And now we've got 2 cars off in Pine Tree. Yeah, Pereira's off in Pine Tree. I believe we've got a yellow sector here, but I believe we're going to be full course yellow very soon. There's Mark Davies and John Marcato going through the carousel. And Teo lost a position there, obviously. Yellow sector in Pine Tree. Find out, let's see, maybe Pereira, I think Pereira might have got underway and got in hanger. So maybe no yellow at all. According to the race positioning, I believe my laps is showing no yellow and no caution, because Pereira is, now we've got another car off. Car number 3. Car number 3 is stopped. Let's get a look. Oh, that is Pereira. Who's car number 85? I'm trying to, that's actually, so Teo pulled in. So Teo and Pereira both trying to get in. Yellow sector now on the main straight. We'll check with our drone. Pereira in the jug handle, in the bus stop. An interesting position for Pereira to make it to. Maybe should have gone with the hangar entrance to pit lane, but we'll see. We've got a local yellow on the entrance to the straightaway. Meanwhile, Jonathan Wilson, Rudy Pistoli still racing. We've got a race elsewhere. Driver still driving. Reggie T moves up to 4th. Simon Reed up to 3rd. We're going to have some this is going to be good. JF, Simon, and Reggie with Adam Klein, all 4 of those cars are going to be close together before this race is over. This is going to be some good racing. Manny, what are you thinking so far about how your dad's doing?
Yeah, I'm happy to see him holding it down. Obviously holding 4th, but I think he's really committed to learning his GT3 Cup car. I'm excited to see his progress in it the rest of this season and hopefully next. We're definitely going to get some action out of him. I think this yellow flag is going to bunch some people up, even though it's local. I think it'll keep racing interesting throughout the field. And I think what happened there was just a little bit of red mist. I think David was hungry for the spot, and Alan wasn't ready to give it up, and the fight just ended up taking them both out.
Manny pulling out some core racer terms there. I believe you're right. It was a little red eye mist. No doubt about the red mist. Pereira did seem to want to get that pass done. Maybe a little frustrated, but as you know, Manny, racing is like Dennis used to always say, right? To finish first, you must first finish. You got to have a long-range mentality. That incident happened before the halfway point. Just not really any reason for that to happen at that point in the race. Patience reigns out here. If you've got a superior car, the pass will take care of itself if you're patient. Oh, wow. Oof, that was ugly. Oh, my gosh. The cameras are breaking. Oh, my gosh. It must be the end of the broadcast. Manny, say something smart.
I really have nothing. I'm caught up in the vision of the 2 commentators here. It's just such a sight to see.
It's clearly not as pretty as the Catskills. I got to tell you. Let's get the camera back on those leaves and those trees. As Andre, listen, look at that. JF and Simon still giving the green machine some trouble. Also, don't forget, if you want to be fast like these racers, join us with our High Performance Driving School on October 13th to the 15th. It's the last 3-day driving school of the season. Get in one of those PDKs and get trained up by Monticello instructors and get your race career at the club underway October 13th. Check in with concierge or visit our website for more details. So, here's Mike Leo being followed by, I believe, Ivan Brightly. These 2 guys have been racing nose to tail. I like how Ivan's taking the fight to Leo. Leo, a very quick driver in the Indy 2s, but Ivan Brightly has been coming along steadily. Really good progress. Used to race right along with both those guys, Manny. What do you think those guys are thinking? Do you think Ivan's going to be able to use that toe to get around Leo, or is Leo's elbows going to be too sharp?
I think that's exactly what Ivan's doing. I think he's getting ready for keeping it tight, get to the back straight, get the toe. I think that ultimately Ivan's been putting in a lot of time. I think it's shown here. Mike Leo's an excellent driver, but he's obviously had his mishaps on track, so I think he's going to do his best to keep it clean. So any pressure from Ivan's going to only get in Mike's head as the race goes on.
That's a great point. And that toe down the straightaway, as everybody knows watching these Indy 2 races, the toe is a mighty advantage. If you can get it timed just right, you can really get an advantage into that braking zone and get a clean pass headed up the switchback. Taking a look now, you see Ron Trinka there. He had a punctured tire in the out lap, the formation lap last race. Good to see Thor back on track, lapping in that big McLaren, being followed by some couple of other racers there. Trinka looking good right in front of Leslie Schrimm in 10th spot. Back to the front, you see Simon Reed. Simon Reed tracking JF and, oh wow, look at this. Jonathan Wilson getting the move done on Rudy. Rudy Pistoli struggling to stay in front of Wilson, and now the Aston Martin is back in front. We're back to kind of where we started early in this race. Kudos to Jonathan Wilson and his coach, Jason Lair. I don't know, man. There's only 10 minutes left in this race. We got about 5 laps to go. What are you looking for out of these back markers?
Well, once the front starts to catch the back of the field, I think that's when things will get interesting. It'll either close or open up the gaps that are there. I definitely think 10 minutes can feel like an eternity when you're on track, especially when you're trying to hold a position. I think to your point earlier, having a 25-minute race, although it's a sprint, could feel like a real marathon. So you really have to take your time out there, be patient, hit your marks, stay steady, stay focused, and follow through for the whole 25 minutes.
Fascinating insights there out of Manny, a guy who has raced in this league this season, raced alongside his dad and campaigned the ND2s. This guy knows what he's talking about. It's so awesome to have Manny up here talking about the race. Also, I can't wait to get back to the clubhouse. This is going to be lunchtime soon, too, which is my favorite part of the day. Let's check it out. As JF tracks that big green Ferrari through Kryptos and up to the hairpin, Simon Reed trying to close the gap. Let's check and see what's happening back in the field. Dan Feldstein's holding down 12th place, followed by Mario Verna and Jay Davis in the 88 Porsche, followed up by Ivan Brightly, who did get around Mike Leo, as we called it here in the booth. No commentator's curse for Ivan Brightly. He did use the toe, did use the draft, and did get around Mike Leo in that last braking zone. Mark Davies has worked up from last place up to 17th place, getting around Jack Wilson, John Marcado, Paul Levine. That's a good job out of Mark Davies. And right now you've got Alan Teo and Dave Pereira, who are really not in this race really anymore. Too bad for both of those guys. Really too bad for Alan Teo, of course. Simon Reed into the Lofts corner. Really proud of what JF's been able to do in this race after his performance last time. Look at his lap times. 2:24.1 versus 2:24.1. JF matching Andre step for step so far. And as you said, traffic management going to get huge here as Andre's right behind Jack Wilson, son of Jonathan Wilson. We have a lot of fathers and sons out here having some fun.
Well, that's what I've grown to love about Monticello. It's a real family environment. Coming out here with my dad for the past couple of years, it's always been a special time, and I love it. I mean, I love being here. I love being part of it. Oh,
JF goes for the pass inside the hanger turn, gets his nose on Fernandez, and loops them both. That was unfortunate. JF being very aggressive with that turn into hanger, and it did not pay off for either one of them. That is not great. These guys are going for it in race 2. Between Pereira and Formella, I tell you, that is a hard charger. That's the kind of hard charger you don't want to see. That's a little too hard charger. As Jonathan leads Rudy, this is the race right here. Rudy and Jonathan Wilson, BMW versus Aston, followed by Ron Trinka there in the McLaren. I tell you what, this is some pretty aggressive racing. Everybody wanting the trophy today. Everybody wanting to get on the podium, Manny.
Yeah, I think JF knew he had to make a move before the straight. I think it was a little early in the race, but I think ultimately he knew he had to get some advantage on the straight because that's where he's going to be losing the battle over pace.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. It was a pretty aggressive move on his part. Yep, they're both still underway. So I guess, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out here at the end as Andre goes around Mark Davies. Mark Davies, grown up, an Englishman in an Italian livery Japanese sports car. I tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that. As Jonathan going down the main straight there. Simon Reed on the inside with his blinkers on, passing Mark Davies into Montreal as well. There comes John Marcado and Jack Wilson headed into Montreal. Simon Reed is your race leader right now, having been the beneficiary of the Fernandez spin. Fernandez has about 5 minutes to try to catch him, and you can see the gap there is not that great. Let's see. What do you think, man? You think Andre will be able to run down Simon, or you think Simon can hold court till the end?
Well, I would say with 5 minutes left, it's going to be tight. I think if Simon keeps his head down and keeps doing what he's been doing, keeps it clean, I think he's got a good shot at taking the overall.
I got to agree with you. Simon has not put a foot wrong the entire race. Lap times are very consistent, repeatable, but man, that Ferrari is a load on that straightaway. Oh yeah, we've got a yellow sector now in the hairpin, but it looks like there are no cars stopped over there, so I'm not sure what that yellow is all about. But we are showing a local yellow as you watch your leader and the second place car go through switchback. Simon Reed definitely aware that there is a mean green Fernandez machine behind him. He's going to have to keep his head clear and eyes out of that mirror. Just trying to turn repeatable laps here at the hairpin. The Ferrari is ever closer, ever closer, ever closer. Jillian Alexander would tell you that Ferrari is fast. It's her favorite thing to say when she's in the commentator's box. As Fernandez shows in the nose and goes for the pass, Simon cannot cover him off. Not a great defensive angle there by Simon, and he has given up the spot to Fernandez in less than one lap. From the time I said, do you think he can hold him off? It took about 60 seconds for Fernandez to get around him.
Well, being that it's an out-of-class battle, Simon might also be playing strategy here, knowing that he doesn't want to get in the middle of a locomotive that's, trying to, run down the track, because there's no doubt Andre's probably a little bit frustrated with the outcome of that incident in hangar.
He is, in fact, an angry Portuguese locomotive out there right now. He is on his way to distance himself from the field. So Andre back on top, Simon Reed in second, now JF in third. As Ron Trinka has now gotten around Rudy as well. Rudy moving backwards through the field from 7th to 8th to 9th. The world's angriest M2, not quite so angry in race 2. Trinka around Wilson in the old turn 1. There you see from the in-car camera, Thor Trinka going around the GT4 Vantage of Jonathan Wilson and making the pass stick as they go through the S's and take the left-hander onto the main straight. Rudy will be trying also to close that gap. Let's see if he can take advantage of the traffic management as the M2 tracks the Vantage down the South Straight. About 2 minutes left to go. We'll be looking at the white flag here next time by. I don't know. I think it's Andre's to lose. Top step seems secure, Manny.
Yeah, I would say so. I think he's got clear air in front of him. The car's going to be running well. Clearly no issue from that impact, and excited to see how it finishes up.
Meanwhile, the senior Tartaglione holding down 4th place. No doubt Manny would like to see Reggie move up one spot and get on that overall podium, but he is going to be 2nd place in class, only to the big green machine. Reggie, no doubt, will be happy with that effort, finishing 4th overall. Completely respectable finish for Reggie. He's happy to see Reggie out here racing both races and doing such a great job in both races, keeping his nose clean and turning a bunch of consistent laps out there. The Spirit of Monticello winner, Reggie Tartaglione. As you see, Mario Verna and Jay Davis coming down, turning in at Montreal. Jonathan Wilson trying to maintain contact with that McLaren Arturo, but not quite quick enough as Trinka stretches legs on that McLaren and gets through the kink.
Towards the end of this race, you start to see who has experience dealing with this type of pressure, and I think Ron's just going out to show he's been racing for a long time. He's racing all over Europe, and I think that he's definitely one of the contenders for top racer out here. I think once he gets his car sorted out and kind of figure a couple things out, I think he's definitely a podium finisher in the R2 class.
Well, while we were talking there, Fernandez has now taken the white flag. So last lap to go, about 13 corners, and this race will be in the books. If you're at the club, don't forget to join us just outside the gallery for our podium ceremony. We'll be handing out trophies and awards to all the racers who finished in the money in the podium spots. We'll be handing out trophies to those racers and then headed down to the clubhouse for a fantastic lunch with Chef Steve and his staff. Watching Trinka and Jonathan Wilson go through the old S's. We're going to be checkered flag before you know it. Drone getting in position to cover the finish. Monticello Media Team does not miss a beat out here. They cover everything as Rudy still follows Jonathan Wilson. Rudy's got one lap to get around Jonathan Wilson. And there you see our leader, the overall race leader in the big green machine, Portuguese Man of the Year, Andre Fernandez, the beautiful Andre Fernandez. Yonel's favorite member turns on to the north stretch and heads into the old turn 1 for the last time. Big green Ferrari, big on the binders, taking the left-hander off camber and down the hill for the last time around the karting complex. Ferrari looking good. Ferrari looking fast, as Jillian would say. As he rounds onto the backstretch, Morgan's got a checkered flag in hand. And for the second race in a row, it's the big green machine of Andre Fernandez across the line. Second place, Simon Reed coming to the line now. Fantastic in-car coverage, courtesy of Monticello. Simon across the line in second overall. Followed by possibly Adam Klein. Maybe. Not really in the same zip code as Andre. And that's Mike Leo and Ivan Brightly. They just took the checker in class R4. Drone standing by. Jonathan Wilson still holding off Rudy Pistoli. What a battle. Last corner for Jonathan Wilson. The Aston Martin GT4 running strong all day. Jonathan, having learned some stuff from race number 1, brought the fight to Rudy in race number 2. And will come out on top, it looks like. Tracking John Marcado onto the exit, hitting the South Straight. Watch Jonathan Wilson take the checker. There's Ron Trinka across the line. John Marcado across the line. Rudy shows in the nose. It's a drag race, but not enough. Jonathan Wilson gets the line just ahead of Rudy. There's Les Schrim, Jonathan Jordan Klein, and Jack Wilson. What a race. Manny, thanks for joining us here in the booth today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let's go have some lunch and get some trophies. Join us out outside the gallery for our amazing podium ceremony and then lunch in the clubhouse. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you later.